do you think having a degree in computer science actually played a good a role for you in terms of like this particular internship is secured? Do you think a plus on your side?
I think it depends on what the company is looking for. I don't want to say yes or no, because there are opportunities that are catered to people who don't have a degree and others who have. So like this is an internship, so they expect the people who apply to be in the process of acquiring a bachelor's or something. So
in computer science?
Yeah. Oh, in computer science, yeah. So I don't think someone would be at a disadvantage if they don't have a degree, especially in this day and age, because everyone has access to resources that can help them learn, and some employers are even looking for someone who like has an interest in it, not necessarily a degree, because you can have a degree and it's not be of any use. So it did play a role in this internship, but like it's just because that was what they were looking for. So that's what I was saying. It's not like a good or bad thing.
Yeah,
I would say.
Okay, all right, that makes sense then. That makes sense. A fun question for you, right? I know you're in school, and I also know that when I was back in school, there were like ways I used to relax, right? Like maybe was watching movies. For you, what is it? Is it Netflix? Is it Hulu? Is it Amazon Prime Video, right? Which of those platforms do you enjoy watching and why?
Preferably, I wouldn't even watch any of them.
Really?
Because like I feel like most of my work is already on the screen, so I prefer to be outside. Like I enjoy being active, so maybe the weather is getting nice, so like
you rather like
taking a walk or riding my bicycle
than having
or something.
to watch something again on the screen.
Yeah, but I do watch things from time to time, but it's not what I would prefer. So maybe playing the sports like badminton or something. I think I did that recently.
Oh, wow, nice.
So yeah, I think I relax better when I'm outside.
Okay, all right. So like in detail, what's your advice, or what do you think are like necessary steps needed to ace a software engineering interview? I know you were there, and I know that there were some that you also interviewed and that didn't work for you, right? But with this one, what do you think were the things you did that probably stood you out and made you secure this interview? So like it may be in terms of like technical skills and soft skills, right? Like just in details, what are the tips or details you want to like give in terms of like acing software engineering interviews for those who are looking to break into it, maybe even in school or just even outside of school, but want to break into tech in general?
Okay, from what I've been able to gather, for technical interviews, you really have to be able to obviously get the solution, but be able to articulate your thoughts as well. And I think it's still something I have to develop, because I find my strength is in my soft skills actually. So for my internship right now, I don't think we had a face-to-face interview like in the process. We had to write and talk about like why us basically. And I think I don't like to write too much, but if it's needed, I think I can communicate well. I think
excellent.
Well, and I think for this next like cycle of applying and like internship process, the advice I would give myself would be to make sure I start preparing early, because with school and everything, it can get a bit hectic. Like, which should you focus on? Actually performing well in your studies, or eventually getting a job, which is what school is supposed to prepare you for. So you're trying to kind of think which one should be priority to you. And I think I would say I would prefer to start applying early, like I've said before, and also to make sure that the foundations of your software skills are solid, because some questions can trip you up, not because they're difficult, just because foundations required to ace the problem can be a bit shaky. And that's what I found personally. There are some things that I got asked and I was like, wait, what is that? And then they explained to me that okay, this is like something
you should know.
That you should
Are you kidding?
So it's something that most people wouldn't think about, but make sure foundations are solid as well. And I think also not to get discouraged, because especially in this last year, oh my god, I feel like this last year for everyone, or maybe I'm just on Reddit too much, but like for everyone, it seemed like it was kind of more difficult than previous years, and I had my fair share of it. But
I know,
just don't get discouraged. Like any endeavor is going to have some challenges, but usually the end of it all, like when you eventually get what you're looking for, most times you remember everything that you went through, or maybe you would remember, but you wouldn't feel as bad as you would feel in the moment. So even when things are getting tough and you're getting discouraged and there are no more tears left in your eyes to cry, just try to keep going on, because we've probably heard this before, but it just takes a yes from someone. Just one.
Very true.
For you to say, oh, I have a new job, or I have a new internship. So don't let the hard times.
I think for the fact that you didn't get it doesn't mean you're not as good as the person that actually got the role, right? Or doesn't make you any less if you think about it. I think in that process you also learn where you had some mistakes, which you could also like hone on and improve upon, right? So that you're even better for the next interviews. I mean, most of us can also get the same company if you want to apply again, right? So I feel like regardless, it's just more like a lesson learned than just feeling discouraged about it, right? Yeah, that's true. In terms of, I know like the tech career space right now, what are your thoughts, right? Do you have any concerns with the whole layoff stuff that's going on, or I cannot be bothered?
I don't even think I have, to be honest,
right?
Because even to me, everything still feels so new, and I can't lie, I'm still trying to get my bearing and know what's what and who's who. So sometimes I just see things on LinkedIn and I'm like, oh, that happened. Like I didn't even know that happened. That's in all honesty, if I'm saying the truth. So is it okay to say I don't know?
I mean, it's totally fine, right? Because I mean, I think it's even best to actually don't even know what's going on, right? So that you don't have like so many negative thoughts coming in. But I feel like regardless, almost all company actually experiences was just a tech space in entirety, right? So I mean, shut out the noise from outside and just like only allow positive thoughts into you. So if it means that you're avoiding the news for a while just to ensure that you're the right thing, I think that is good, just for sanity's sake, right? In terms of social media space, are you a LinkedIn person or a Twitter person or an Instagram person? What are you? Because it seems like someone who likes reading book and don't really like use social media a lot. Are you like?
No.
Wait, like you're not like Instagram, Facebook.
Well,
I mean, how old are you? You're a young girl.
I have a LinkedIn profile, but I don't post on it. It's only for opportunities. I guess posting helps your visibility and all, but I plan to make use of it more. But currently I'm still like the one that has a profile and sees things but doesn't post anything. And I think that goes for Instagram as well. And Twitter, I'm not even there.
Wow, that's actually very funny, because I know some people like building the open, right? They leverage on like the social media to say, oh, I'm building this, I have this out there. That's actually true. Maybe later on, who knows, later on in the future you could be like someone who enjoyed social media. I don't know, I guess. So if you were to study another course aside computer science, what would that be?
Architecture.
No, I know grade up for it to be something else.
You want me to say policewoman? She wanted me to say policewoman.
But why architecture?
Because sometimes I like to think about what's in people's minds when they make a house look a certain way. Like the shapes and the designs and everything. To me, it's intriguing, and there are some beautiful houses that you just think, oh wow, did somebody actually think of this? And I was just drawn to it, and I had an influence as well. So
that's actually
so that made things easy. So if it wasn't computer science, it actually would have been architecture. But we bless our teachers that helped us take some interest away from our hearts. But
those counselors, right?
I think it's not a bad thing. I still ended up fine, but I still have a love for architecture. So if it wasn't computer science, it would have been architecture.
All right. I think we're about to wrap up, right? Well, my question would then go to the fact that so for those who are looking to break into this field, right, where do you think they should go? Like, if we're to draw a roadmap, right, on where to start, how to start. I mean, you went to school, which is fine and okay, but if we're to do this alone on a self-taught route, right, what do you think it would be like? What's a realistic learning roadmap to get started? So in my own case, for those who are looking to break into data analysis, I tell them, you need to understand fundamentals of statistics, right? You need to understand how it all works, the numbers, when you're dealing with different data types. But in terms of software engineering, I don't know how it works for you guys. What's the most basic and most important thing to learn?
I think for
starting out, or just draw out a realistic learning roadmap.
I think first of all, you have to understand what computer science is about. And
but why do people say this?
Because if you don't understand it, why are you going to?
Right?
So just know whether you like it. If you don't like it, you quickly as you came in, you
Go out.
So know if you like it first, and if you do, I'd say to use a language that you like. Python may not be for everyone. It might be the simple, like straightforward one, but it might not be for everyone. Find one that you like. I don't think learning multiple languages is that. I don't think it's necessary, especially when you're starting out. Maybe when you like have done it for a few years, or you're solid in like programming, maybe then. But you can do. I'm pretty sure most things can. Like you can develop your skills in one, and then when you get to the interview stage where you're actually actively looking for a job, I think the most important topic everywhere is like data structures and algorithms.
Yeah, that's true.
But people seem to say that once you do get a job, it's not as important. Or I have yet to move to that. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But try to develop skills doing like building things you like. That I guess that's the thing with school, because most of your learning it's in order to complete an assignment or a project, or make sure you don't like skip a deadline. And sometimes it helps some people learn, but I feel like you learn better when you're doing something you like. So develop skills, building things you like. And also building for a long time sounded so foreign to me, because how do you even build something in the first place? But then again, there are a lot of resources online. So I think my own journey would just be about like the vast things you can find online. Like you shouldn't underestimate what's online to learn. Everything's at your fingertips, so just be diligent enough to find them.
Yeah, so like just to reiterate, right, you suggest that, start by understanding like computer science or software engineering, right? Understanding whether you like it. Then learn and pick at least one programming language. It doesn't have to be Python, but like anyone that best workable, then do it and build as well too, right? And don't just learn multiple languages, just be good at one and build.
It's not necessary.
Not necessarily.
You might want to do it to kind of like have different languages to put on your resume. That's okay, but it's just not. I don't think it's necessary. So.
Okay. Finally, right, like the final question is, what are your thoughts regarding ChatGPT? Like, is this something that, I saw a post about how that you shouldn't outsource, like when you use ChatGPT, it's more or less like you're outsourcing your thinking to ChatGPT, because it tries to think for you and create a possible answer, whereas your brain could literally have done that for you, right? So what do you think about that, even as a student, even like maybe when you're on the job or something, like even with the current trend, what are your thoughts regarding it? Has it done more good?
I think for me, sometimes there are, like in the past when I've had to use it, it's like trying to understand the concept behind maybe a topic that I'm learning. So if, for instance, I have an assignment or a project that I have to do and I forgot the definition of something or how something works, I find that it's faster to ask ChatGPT rather than Googling. But that's only sometimes, like when the answer is basically straightforward, something I can type and I can get back immediately. I find that it saves me time than typing and Googling. But on the flip side, I was speaking to one of my professors last week, and he mentioned that his work isn't software engineering or anything of the sort, but it's more like scientific research. And he mentioned that majority of what ChatGPT returns, it may not be 100% accurate. So if people use it and just assume, because it's an AI, like that you always get the right answer, I think that's where it becomes detrimental, because you assume it's right, but it's not always right. And he mentioned spotting some errors as well. And I believe all the information produced is from the web, so things could be taken like out of context and everything. So I guess just use it with
caution.
It can be helpful, but also can be detrimental.
I would say that. And also because it's still in its early phase. I mean, it's how many months, right? I think it's less than a year, definitely. But I feel like do not just outsource your thinking. I mean, when it came out, I was using it like a lot of times, but I was like, nah, like when do you now have to start thinking independently and start doing stuff in your own right? So I think ChatGPT is good, but just, use it with caution pretty much, right? And use it also to your advantage, because currently the model was trained, I think with data dating back to 2021. Or, yeah, 2021, but if I'm right. Yeah, I think 2021, right? So it means that there's still a bit of things that he hasn't learned, right? So your answers may not be as accurate as you'd want it to be, right? So that's where you should also depend and rely on yourself to actually think critically as a person and not just leverage your thought process to just chat with you more. Anyways, it's so nice speaking to you, Amaka. I'm so excited to have you here. I really look forward to even speaking to you like after internship and tell me how it all went, your experience, leave it to your expectation. Did you like what was it like doing like a real 9 to 5, like having to like also learn on the job as well too, right? What were your takeaways like in terms of like stuff you learned, right? And if it was a company you want to like go back to and like probably like still continue learning or still continue working in, right? But thanks so much. It's so fun having you here. Also like know you personally, so it's really, I mean, it's quite amazing, quite frankly speaking. She's a very, very good person. So I would love for you to actually do me a favor, which is, can you kindly close up like this video, you know, the whole YouTuber stuff?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, make sure to make sure to leave a nice comment or a question, and turn on your post notification if it isn't on already, and stay tuned for whatever she puts out next.
And ensure to also subscribe
To her channel.
Yes,
How did I miss that? Yeah. Definitely subscribe if this was helpful. So
yeah, so till next time guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great day guys. Bye.